From South Padre Island to Rio Grande City, this is Local 23 News at 5.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Medina. Police investigators are hoping it's a major break in the case of a local missing attorney. The Harlingen Police Department confirming they have found human remains on a ranch in La Feria. That property belongs to the family of Ernesto Gonzalez. He's the attorney that went missing in 2017. With the warrant in hand, Texas Rangers joined Harlingen police officers in the search of a property on Kansas Road. That's where they found scattered bones. Now an autopsy is underway to see if the remains belong to Gonzalez. Criticism is growing by the League of United Latin American Citizens in the search of a missing Fort Hood soldier. LULAC, which has hundreds of members in the Rio Grande Valley, has put up a $25,000 reward for information about the disappearance of Vanessa Guillen. Investigators say foul play is suspected. The family of the 20-year-old wants answers, but is frustrated by the Army's response to this case involving a Latina. Many are hoping a now growing $55,000 reward will bring some answers. Our Steve Campion has more.
An emotional afternoon unfolded at Fort Hood as Vanessa Guillen's family demanded answers. The 20-year-old soldier from Houston, who graduated from Cesar Chavez High School, remains missing.
Every Friday, you can ask anyone from my family. Every Friday, she used to come to Houston.
Her younger sister Lupe asked the question over and over again. How is it possible for a soldier to vanish on base? Vanessa was last seen on April 22nd. Her family, with Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, told us Army investigators now say foul play was involved in Vanessa's disappearance. The Army hasn't answered any of our specific questions about their investigation, only vowing in news releases they'll find Vanessa.
So they said that they didn't have any cameras that day. I find that odd.
So it's still unclear when and who and at what time the Army officially announced to the family that Vanessa was missing.
Today, the Guillen family attorney and Congresswoman Garcia expressed growing concern. They say the Army isn't forthcoming with information. Last week, Fort Hood announced an investigation into allegations that Guillen was sexually harassed by a superior prior to her disappearance.
They promised to protect every single soldier like if it was their son and daughter. And yet, they sexually harassed her, yet they say no soldier left behind, yet they're leaving my sister behind because clearly after 2 months, they're trying their best to find her. After 2 months, after 60-some days.
Right now, all Vanessa's family wants is for her to come home.
I'm praying for her to be found alive soon. I just want her alive because how is it possible to go missing on base, on a military base? How is that possible?
That was Steve Campion reporting. Texas EquiSearch founder Tim Miller is traveling to Fort Hood to meet with investigators. His group has been able to solve more than 90% of cases they get involved with. Texas set another all-time high for COVID-19 cases with more than 5,000. Now health officials wonder if another stay-at-home order could come soon. Cameron County Health Authority Dr. James Castillo says they are seeing more than 100 cases a day and hospitals are filling up. But even with the rise in cases, Castillo says shutting down the economy is their last resort.
If the hospitals get more and more full, if we start entering into that crisis, this is where you could see another shelter in place. I don't know what other choice we would have.
Dr. Castillo says wearing a mask, social distancing, and staying home whenever possible is the key to slowing down the spread. Castillo is urging everyone to follow these safety guidelines. The effects of the pandemic on Valley cities are becoming clear. And as Local 23's Derek Garcia explains, in South Padre Island, it means cuts to funding for some of the island's biggest events.
On South Padre Island, events like Kite Fest and Sandcastle Days are big draws. But because of COVID-19, the money to advertise those events is scarce.
We had a funding cut for the remainder of this year, but the funding cut for next year was much more substantial. It was $300,000. So instead of having a little over $800,000 for the events that happen on the island, we're going to have just a little over $600,000.
A little bit here, a little bit there. and all of, right?
Correct. It's not, it's not coming directly out of the general fund. This is coming out of the hot fund.
The hot fund is the hotel occupancy tax fund, which is critical to South Padre Island's budget.
The smarter they spend the money, the more people that show up, which means next year when they ask, they can prove that they had more heads and beds, and if the event warrants, then they can ask for more money.
Seeing what these kites can do today, we couldn't do when I was a kid.
Bill Doan is the SPI Kite Fest co-organizer and co-owner of BNS Kites. His event is a top earner and crowd pleaser.
It brings more back to the island. I mean, this is it's a win-win for the island. Keep growing every year, and we sell out every year.
And after the loss from COVID-19, wins are what the Sandcastle City needs. At South Padre Island, Derek Garcia, Local 23 News.
A blessing this afternoon for all first responders here in the Rio Grande Valley. The Bishop of the Diocese of Brownsville, Daniel Flores, giving a Mass at the Basilica of San Juan. The Blue Mass done every year to offer prayers to those who are on the front lines. Perhaps even more important this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In attendance were first responders from all across the Rio Grande Valley.